All right, she is a fascinating woman, Ivana Trump, the first wife of the President of the United States.
And she is opening up in a brand new book called Raising Trump.
And I got a chance to sit down with her at her townhouse here in Manhattan to talk about the president and how they fell in love and whether or not she would like to be in Melania's shoes in Washington. Listen. Ivana, thank you for sitting down with us. Congratulations on your book, Raising Trump.
Thank you so much.
I mean, you came from a communist country. You leave, you start a modeling career, you're an excellent skier, and then you move to Canada, you're a model there, you fall in love. Tell us that story.
Well, we went to the Maxwell Plum, which was very famous then. So we came in, of course, every table was taken. So I turned around and there is this tall, blonde, blue-eyed guy, and he said, my name is Donald Trump. And I guess I can see that you are waiting for the table. And the manager of the place, it's my friend, I'm going to get you a table. So I look at my girlfriends and I say, I have a good news and I have a bad news. Good news is the gentleman is going to give us the table right away. The bad news, he's going to sit with us. And so we had a dinner and Donald disappeared. And waiter said, no, the bill was paid for. And I said, this is very unusual. I never met the man which paid for something and didn't want anything in the return.
So then what happened? How did you go from that point to marrying him?
I went back to Montreal, and Donna was calling me every day and say, Ivana, if you're not going to marry me, you're going to ruin your life. Okay.
So wait, if you don't marry him,
yes,
you're going to ruin your life.
Yes.
Not the other way around.
No.
What did you think about that?
Well, I thought it was funny, but he was very persistent.
And it worked. You fell in love.
Yes.
When you met him, did you know he could one day be president of the United States? He could one day be one of the wealthiest men in the country.
Not when I met him. Don was making $70,000 a year for his father in Brooklyn, and I had no idea.
So you really went along for the ride. He wasn't just this rich man that you fell in love with.
No, we became rich together.
What happened with your marriage? Why did you get divorced?
We got divorced because Donna was unfaithful, and the trust is the most important thing to me. If you cannot trust the person, everything is gone. He would say, I'm going to play the golf. I say, is he really going to play golf? So I didn't want to really live with it. I know that I had a better life in front of me.
Did he have the affair with Marla Maples?
I'm not going to talk about the showgirl.
You call her the showgirl?
Yes. She asked for an apology, and I said her apology is not accepted. And I never accept her apology.
Why is that?
I just think she's showgirl. I think she ruined my marriage, and she doesn't deserve apology.
How did the kids take that?
The kids, they were okay. Donald Jr. didn't speak to the father for a year because he was oldest. He understood what happened, and then we mended it, and we just live our lives.
You talk about Melania in the book. Are you and Melania friends?
I see her here and there. There's absolutely no problem.
You wrote a story about how you were at lunch with the ladies and they were talking about Melania. What did you say at the lunch about Melania?
I said that she's a very nice girl, and it is very tough to be on campaign.
And so how did the media report what you said at that lunch?
I think the media reported that, she cannot speak. She cannot this, but that was nothing which I said, because I have an accent, she has an accent, we both immigrants. So that really didn't count for me. I sent to Melania the text. The last thing what I would like to do is to say something bad about you, because you are a family. And I don't say anything bad or do anything back to the family member.
Do you ever look at his position and Melania being the first lady and think, that's where I should be?
Not at all.
Why?
Washington is tough town. I was asked to be American ambassador to Czech Republic. I told him, I said, if you would ask me 10, 15 years ago, I would do it. But now I don't want to be in Prague for 4 years. Could I do well? Yes. But I would lose my freedom. So, I'm glad that Melania is there and I'm here.
So I will say that interview took place last Tuesday, and since then she's interviewed with some other networks as well. And one network came out and said that she was quoted as saying that she is the real First Lady. I never got that impression of her. She talked glowingly about Melania, said that her children like Melania. She has no problem with Melania. She's tweeted with Melania before when the media tried to spin another story, and she told Melania, that's not at all what I said. I support you and I support Donald. She said she's friends with Hillary Clinton and she voted for Donald Trump. She said, I said, was that tough, in your relationship with Hillary? And she said, I feel like Donald would be a better president. But Melania did send out a statement. Her assistant sent out a statement saying she thinks she's just looking for attention. But I will tell I'll tell anyone, I did not get that impression of her. She was not talking down about Melania at all. She was very supportive of the president and the First Lady.
Well, I'll say one thing about Ivana, and that is she and Donald Trump raised 3 great kids. I mean, you look at those kids, they're fantastic.
Yeah, she's a strong woman. I walked away liking her a lot.
They dominated New York papers in the 80s, and they were it. They were the first couple. Meanwhile, great job. So we're going to see part 2 a little bit later, right?
Yeah.
All right, 30 minutes before the top of the hour.
Brian?
All right. Earlier you saw part of Ainsley's interview, Jillian, with Ivana Trump, as Jillian gracefully walks off stage, the first wife of the president, where we learned more about their relationship. She's still walking.
That's right. She is opening up in a brand new book called Raising Trump.
And I did get a chance to talk with her a little bit more about what the president is like, their children together, and her businesses. Take a look. When I read the title at first, I thought you meant you had raised President Trump, helped raise him and get him into the White House. Do you feel a responsibility for him becoming the president of the United States?
In a way, yes, because we were together for 16 years, but most of it we did business, and now he's in the White House and he has decisions to make and all that stuff, and he's going to run the country as a business, and he's going to do well for the country.
It's nice to see a strong woman be so successful. I know you made tens of millions of dollars with your clothing and your perfume and your jewelry. I know that you had 3 bestsellers. You ran the Trump Hotel, the casino. What gave you your business mind?
I think I learned it from Donald. Me and Donald were a great team.
What do you say to the critics and to the media outlets that attack him constantly? They say he's racist. They say so many things about him that are negative.
I think Donald's a good man. And he is trying to do the best he can, and he's going to run the country as his business. He will negotiate. Once America has the jobs, when America has the infrastructure, once that is done, then we can go and help all the rest of the world.
There's a chapter in the book called Lion Mom. You talk about your personality and how you're the Lion Mom and how Washington is so tough, and Washington hasn't been so nice to your family. How do you respond to that?
Well, if somebody's not nice to my family, I'm not nice to them. I would not go and give interview to CNN if my life would depend on it, because they were so bad to Donald. I would not give the interview to New York Times because they sued me last August. They wanted to reopen my divorce documents. And I said, I'm civilian, I'm not running for the President of the United States.
Tell me about your children and what it was like to raise them.
Donald was always behind the telephone. He was not a classic father who would take you on the stroller and take you for a walk in the Center Park or play soccer with you or something like that. He was always working.
Did you resent him for that?
No, not at all, because I was also working. When I got divorced, the kids were 6, 8, and 12, and I had a total custody, which was the best thing that could happen, because there can be only one chef in the kitchen. And so I made a decision on the education, I make a decision on their activities. My friends, the children, they out of their mind. They're on cocaine, they're on drugs, they spend the money. My kids, they had a discipline, okay, and I would give them schedule. They would go and they would get up at 7. They would go to the school at 8. After the school, they went to the father, say good afternoon. Don, it's on the telephone, negotiates. So the kids were listening to him. And then they would have thousands of the after-school activities. I would take the kids to Europe for 2 months, June and July, and they would fly economy, and I would fly the first class. And Ivanka said, can I be upgraded? I said, when you can afford it, you get upgraded. And they were working from 9 to 5, cutting the grass in our golf courses. And they were making $4 or $5 an hour, 9 to 5 for a month. And 1 year, Donna Julian came to me and said, Mom, why you can raise us from $5 to $6? I said, you know why? And he said, why? I said, because you do not ask. You don't ask, you don't get. But they know the value of the money.
Look at that.
And he got that raise.
A billionaire family still has to cut the grass for $5 an hour.
Yeah, listen, she taught them to have a strong work ethic. She kept them busy after school. She said she did have full custody of the kids, but she really respected President Trump, or then Donald Trump. She said, but she would take the kids to go see him in the morning at the office. They would say hi to their dad, take them to school. After school, she would drop by the office again. They could say hey to Dad. She said Dad took all their phone calls. You know, the mainstream media is saying that she was saying, joking around on set, saying that she was the first lady. She does write in the book that she was the first Mrs. Donald Trump, but she never said that she wished that she said, I don't want to be in Melania's Christian Louboutins. She goes, I have a lot of them in my closet, but I don't want to be in hers. She said spoke very highly of Melania, said the kids really like her. She has nothing against her. And one time the mainstream media tried to spin a story. Another time she tweeted or texted Melania and said, look, I never said any of that. I'm really sorry. I hope we can always, be civil to each other and remain friends.
Well, great interview, and I guess she's not going to be going on CNN.
I guess not.
Soon.
She doesn't like them.
All right. Great job, Ainsley.
Thank you. She was lovely, strong woman, and just said some positive things. The only person she spoke negatively of is Marla Maples. She calls her the showgirl because she broke up their marriage.
Was she a showgirl?
Yeah.
She was on Dancing with the Stars, and she said that was an embarrassment to Donald Trump, that she's been offered to do that as well a lot, and been paid a lot of money to do it, and she refuses to.
Well, Tucker Carlson did it. I'm not embarrassed by that. So
That's her opinion.
Yeah.